Watchman for Israel, coming back at you with these precepts and another cold cut, giving, of course, our honor and our glory to Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Malak Yahushai. Double honors to the elect elders of the house of David that's been in this truth for decades and decades, patiently waiting for the second coming of Mashiach Malak Yahushai. A hearty, mighty shalom to all of the men of the Lord who are out there on the highways and byways, pushing this truth, magnifying the ministry, presenting their body as a living sacrifice, and enduring all things for the elect's sake. Shalom to those men. Shalom to all of the men that may not be out there on the highways and byways as of yet, but they're working on it. They're getting built up in the spirit. They're praying, they're fasting, they're studying. They're being diligent and abounding in the work of the Lord. Shalom, shalom. Shalom to all of the Aquath out there, holding it down in the households, married and unmarried, reverencing their husbands, fearing the Lord, and moving in the spirit of our righteous foremothers. Shalom, shalom. This is a quick cold cut, doing the work at work. I got the time that these plantations give me, which is not long at all, to be able to be in the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashmi Avashai and quench not the spirit. The topic of this cold cut is remember Lot's wife. All right, if you read Genesis, the 19th chapter, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. If not, we're going to go into it. We may not read the whole chapter, but just to give some insight on what Yahweh Shah is talking about as we read in Luke, the 17th chapter. So let's not play any games. We're going to get right into it. I'm going to start at Luke chapter 17, and I'm going to start at verse 26, right? Luke 17 and 26. And as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man. So during the time of Noah, you can understand that they were doing the exact same thing. Murder, reveling, partying, weddings, freaking off, sodomy, madness, violence, rape, pillaging. The same things that the free will spirit, the rebelling against God's spirit, the same spirits of rebellion and pride are here in Babylon the Great. That's what this means as in the days of Noah, right? When you go to the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter, it gives more insight on that. I can actually read on, right? It reads, they did eat, they drank, they married wives, and were given in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all. Right, let's go to the book of Job, chapter 22. So they ate, they drank, they married, they gave in a marriage, and they lived, like the brother Judah said, they lived a carefree YOLO spirit, man. They lived a life without fear. And that's how these people of the earth live. They don't fear the Most High. They're not thinking about judgment. Here you have manifold prophecies coming to pass. You have tension building up between Iran and Israel and Babylon the Great. You have a global economic deficit and recession coming on the earth. Food prices always increasing. Threats and wars and rumors of wars. And these people don't know what's going on, man. You at these so-called workplaces, people are talking as if the Most High isn't touching the earth, man. They're living a carefree spirit. They're living a spirit of liberty and a spirit of just ignorance, man. These are the things they did during the time of Noah. Right? Let's get a precept on that. Let's go to the book of Job, chapter 22, and I'm going to start at, well, this whole chapter is good, man. I'm going to start at 12, right? Job chapter 22 and 12. It's not the Most High in the height of heaven, and behold, the height of the stars, how high they are. So some people think what this is telling you is telling you how the people of the earth think. If you wanted to read somebody's mind and understand what their mentality is when it comes to fearing the Most High and doing things in darkness, this is what this is going into. Certain people really believe that the Most High is too high in the heavens to even pay attention to the sins and the iniquity of what they're doing in the earth. Some people think the Most High is forsaking the earth. They say, well, why is there a God when babies die? Why is there a God when there's wars? Why would a God condone slavery? So they don't really think the Most High is watching the earth. They think the Most High doesn't exist, or they think the Most High is just too far off, man, to behold the things that are transpiring. That's what this means when it says at 22 and 12, it's not God in the height of heaven, and behold the height of the stars, how high they are. And thou sayest, how doth the Most High know, and can he judge through the dark cloud? So some people think The Most High is too far to judge what's going on. Thick clouds are a covering to him that he seeth not, and he walketh in a circuit of heaven. Right? Is that true? Is the Most High just preoccupied with all of the angels and now he's not watching what's going on the earth? No. They think he's just walking around in a circuit of heaven, man, doing heavenly business, and he has just forsaken the earth. But the Most High is about to check you. It says, hast thou marked the old way which wicked men have trodden? So if that's your mentality, the Lord said you should have paid attention to what happened during the time of Noah. Because the same people who thought like that, who think like that now, that was the same mentality during the days of Noah. It says, hast thou marked the old way which wicked men have trodden, who were cut down out of time, whose foundation was overflown with the flood, which said unto the Most High, depart from us. And what can the Almighty do for them? So the Lord is giving you insight about what happened during the days of Noah. The people thought the Most High wasn't paying attention, and they rebelled, and they didn't fear the Lord, man. You know? But the Most High sent Noah out there to prophesy against them. That's what this says in verse 17, which said unto the Most High, depart from us. Because remember, Noah was a messenger of the Lord, a preacher of righteousness, if you can understand, a prophet. Let's get that real quick in 2 Peter, right? Let's go to 2 Peter, Salakia, the 2nd chapter, and I'm going to go to verse 7. Right, I'm going to actually start at 5. Right, let's go to 2 Peter chapter 2 and 5 to show you, Salakia, to show you what happened during the days of Noah. 2 Peter chapter 2 and 5. And spared not the old world, but saved Noah, the 8th person, a preacher of righteousness, bringing in the flood upon the world of the ungodly. Remember, Noah, his wife, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and their wives, they were the last ones to survive, the only ones to survive. And Noah was the 8th person. He was the last one in there, man. He had to seal the door. And the Most High sealed that ark in, bringing in the flood upon the world of the ungodly. So Noah was a preacher of righteousness. When you look that word up, preacher, in the Greek, right, if you go to the Blue Letter or some other Strong's concordance, it'll tell you that word preacher, it doesn't mean your Sunday school preacher. It's talking about a prophet, a divine messenger, a herald, someone that brought divine words and news of the Most High God. So Noah wasn't just out there building an ark and putting animals in 2 by 2. He was preaching, prophesying about what the Most High was going to do. Right? Let me get that in the book of Hebrews. Right? It tells you that Noah moved with fear for things not seen yet. Right? Let's get that in the book of Hebrews real quick. So we living in the days of Noah now. These are the days of Noah, and these are the days of Lot. The days of Noah and the days of Lot. Genesis chapter 11, Salakia, and verse 7. It reads, by faith, Noah being warned of God of things not seen as yet, moved with fear, prepared an ark to the saving of his house, by the which he condemned the world and became heir of the righteousness which is by faith. You see that? So Noah condemned the world by his actions and by preaching. We condemn the world. The word condemn, it literally means with damnation or destruction. It's a death sentence, a damnatory sentence of death, woe, and destruction. So Noah moved with fear, man, as he was building an ark, and he also condemned the world, being a preacher of righteousness. And what happened when Noah was preaching the word? We read what happened in Job. They said, depart from us, for we desire not your ways, paraphrasing. So when Noah was bringing out the flood and the rain that was going to come with it, they ignored it. What do you think is happening now, man? When brothers are on the highways and byways and we tell them about the end of the world, they walk past, they laugh, they scoff. Some people come up like it's a damn show, man. They'll bring popcorn. We've seen it at the harbor. These nations will walk by and they're eating a damn ice cream cone or some popcorn. They want to see us kind of talk, and they'll take their phone out, maybe take a picture or two, and they'll just move off to one of the attractions at the harbor, man. Maybe the guys down there that do magic tricks or breathe fire, or they might get something to eat, and they might walk past us and, you know, pop popcorn in their mouth, maybe take a picture again and leave, man. So these people think it's a game. These are the things that happened during the days of Noah. Let's go back to the book of Luke, right? Let's go back to the book of Luke. So the Lord is telling you what days you're living in. Everybody's nonchalant about the judgment of the Most High. And not even nonchalant, they just don't know. And the ones that do know, they don't give a damn, huh? Right, let's go back to Luke the 17th chapter. Okay, Luke chapter 17 and 26 again. But as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man. They did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all. Likewise also, as it was in the days of Lot, they did eat, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they builded. That's what's going on now. You know, people are going out, taking cruises around the world. People are going to expensive trips. They're going on vacations, right? People are enjoying this life. They're trying to travel around the world. They have a bucket list. One of America's mottos is to pursue the happiness. One of the so-called founding fathers said we have a right to pursue our happiness, man. That Epicurean hedonism type of lifestyle. That doest thou wilt kind of spirit. Where you can just follow your heart's desire and believe in the ways of your own eyes, man. And that's what people are doing. They're eating, drinking, and this doesn't mean, you just eat a meal. It's talking about feasting, going out, partying, getting drunk. You know, you got these people at these parties that getting drunk. People getting damn molested, date raped. People drunk driving, killing people. Doing keg stands. Taking shots. After shot after shot when they're drunk. Taking brothers' wives from them. Committing adultery. This is a sick world we live in, man. So they did eat, they drank, they bought. You know, people are right now the big thing is Forex, or it was a big thing, and it's a crypto trade, man. Cryptocurrency. Everybody's buying and looking to make it big, looking to be famous. Everybody's on TikTok trying to make a name for themselves. They're on Instagram trying to make a name for themselves. People are buying followers. People are buying equipment, you know, to be seen. People are buying this world, man, and selling their souls. They bought, they sold, they planted, they builded. That's what happened during the days of Lot. Don't think in the days of Lot, it was just Lot in the house, just sitting around. You had madness going on during the time of Lot. Let's get that in 2 Peter, the 2nd chapter again. You had absolute madness going on during the days of Lot. And he was around those Hamites, man. Those filthy, nasty Canaanites. Imagine what Lot had to see. Imagine what Lot had to hear, man. Right, this 2 Peter chapter 2 and verse 6. It reads, and turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them with an overthrow, making them an ensample unto all those that after shall live ungodly. What does that mean? It means the Most High sent chariots to rain fire and brimstone, lasers, concentrated heat to destroy those cities and pulverize it into ashes. That was an overthrow. And the Lord said what? Making them an ensample unto those that should after live ungodly. Right, so this shows you that if you live the life of what those men lived in Genesis 19, sodomy, a man on man, woman on woman, freaking off in lust, you're going to get the same destruction that they had. They're literally set up as an example. You don't think the so-called white man knows that? Right? You don't think he knows about Sodom and Gomorrah? He sends archaeologists over there 3 times a year. They have scientists over there, archaeologists, men that still go and study the soil and study the sulfur content. They go over there and say, look, this place was destroyed by elements that are not found on the earth. That's what their own scientists are telling you. The sulfur content out by the Dead Sea, by where Sodom and Gomorrah is so high, they're even telling you that this thing had to come from another place. There's nothing on earth that can cause that kind of fire and destruction. So they know about this deal, man. They actually know the game. They clearly understand what happens when you follow that lifestyle. But do they give a damn? No. These are the days of Lot. When you know about the judgment and you still do what you want to do. You know? You still do what you want to do. How many times have we seen that camp? We see sodomites and we rebuke them. And sometimes, look, man, believe it or not, they'll be holding hands as they walk close to the camp. But then as they kind of get right in front of the camp, they'll let go. They'll break hands because they know deep down, and it's mainly Jake that do it. You know, they break down. Because deep down inside, they understand what they're doing is off and it's contrary to righteousness. But then when they walk past, they'll link back up. These people know what they're doing is off, man. These are the days of Noah. These are the days of Lot. Let's read on. I'm gonna read this again. This 2 Peter chapter 2 and 6. And turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them with an overthrow, making them an example unto all those that after should live ungodly. I'm gonna hold that. I'm gonna go to the book of Jude. Right? So the Most High said they're set up as an example. If you're trying to figure out what's going to happen to them, to these men that deal with men, we'll just read Genesis 19. Right? This is the book of Jude. Let me get this precept real quick. Okay, Salakia. All right, Jude chapter 1 and 7. Even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication and going after strange flesh. Because what's strange? The flesh of a man. If you a man. Right? That's strange. It's not right. It's off. Evil. Strange flesh are set forth for an example, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire, man. You know, meaning they were destroyed. That's just a hyperbole, hyperbolic talk, an exaggeration. They're not in hell, right? Let's go back to the book of Luke. Actually, I want to go back to 2 Peter 2 because I want to get another account in that. Right? Let's go back to 2 Peter chapter 2. So these are the days of Lot. These are the days of Noah. 2 Peter chapter 2 and verse 7. And delivered just Lot, right? Vexed. Hold on, let me get that word. Vexed. If a brother got time, can the brother pull up the definition of vexed? Can we get that definition right there? It says, and delivered just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. And we could talk about that for three hours. We represent the modern day Lot. Right? We represent Lot now. Okay, the brother GD put it. Make the Water King. Make someone feel annoyed, frustrated, or worried, especially with trivial matters. The memory of the conversation still vexed him. And we are annoyed, man. We're frustrated here. You know the things we have to hear on TV, the things we got to hear on the radio, the crimes that we have to hear, the murders that we have to hear, the Sodomites, man, that might be at your workplace, the freakism that goes on, the stuff that pop up on your phone, man. You might be on Instagram or social media, and something lewd pops up, or you might be at the grocery store and you see two men damn near kissing, talking about the date they had, man. Or you might see a dyke with another woman, talking about the date they going on. We hate it here, man. The things we hear are just utterly appalling. Even at the so-called workplace, man. Goddamn small talk with Edomites, man. Small talk with Esau's vexing. You know, being polite to these nations for the sake of wisdom and the scriptures is damn near vexing the flesh, man. Yeah, the brother said HIV commercials. And you got interracial commercials, HIV, and they always display Jake. Jake is the forefront of all HIV commercials, man. You're the head of it. Why is the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American man the head of damn HIV, man? Esau inviting you to damn happy hour, you know, asking you how your family doing. Who can? Nobody wants to hear that, man. Can't get no sleep. You might live in an apartment, man. You hear people damn snoring on top of you. A man laying up with his woman. You can hear somebody damn breathing, man. You might stay in the house, man. You might hear damn fire trucks going by, gunshots at night, an ambulance, traffic and commotion, fights, cats in the alley, man. You don't get no rest here. You don't get no peace here. Right, let me read on. And delivered just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. Verse 8. For that righteous man dwelling among them, and seeing and hearing, vexed his righteous soul from day to day with their unlawful deeds. So this is a daily thing. Day to day, Sunday through Sunday, Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, Friday and Saturday, we are vexed, man. Why? With the unlawful deeds going on, man. You know? So we represent Lot here. Let's go back to the book of Luke. Right? We're a Lot. We're Noah. Luke chapter 17. You're living in the days of Lot, where people are buying, selling, giving into marriage, drunkards, planting, breaking down, sodomy, madness going on. Let's go to Luke. Yeah, I saw one advertisement. They say being a sodomite is the new black. Right? Being a sodomite is the new black. Luke chapter 17. Let me go back to this. Right? Okay, Luke chapter 17 and verse 28. Likewise also, as it was in the days of Lot, they did eat, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they builded. Salakia. But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. Even thus shall it be in the day when the Son of Man is revealed. And that day, he which is upon the housetop and his stuff in the house, let him not come down to take it away. And he that is in the field, let him likewise not return back. Remember Lot's wife. Why would Yahushua say, remember Lot's wife? What's so significant about Lot's wife? Well, Lot's wife looked back. In verse 31, the Lord is telling you to let this place go. Let it go when it's time. You should be really kind of letting it go now. We know we still got to use this world. So you can't just... I knew a brother, he cut up his social security card. He cut up his ID. He sold his car. He sold his house. You know? Sold all his clothes. And he shaved his head, man. That's not wise. We're not here for that, man. That's not what that's talking about. It's not talking about leave everything materially or materialistically right now and just put your damn head in the sky and just wait on the Lord, man. No, you gotta use this world right now. You gotta pay your bills. You gotta pay your rent and your mortgage. You gotta get your car fixed if it break down. You gotta get that roof fixed, man. I got a leak in. You gotta use this world. This is telling you, I'm gonna read it again, Luke 17:31. And that day, and really that day is speaking about Jacob's trouble. The day when we're put to flight. The day when Esau is like a madman. The day when we're pilgrims on the earth, pursuant to 2 Ezra, chapter 16 and 40. Right? The days when you're no longer a resident at your house or your apartment or your mansion, wherever you dwell at, man. You're going to be on the go, a nomad, a stranger. The Lord is not with the man when all hell break loose, or even now holding on to who you used to be. You got guys that do that. They hold on to who they used to be. They're still talking about high school. They're still talking about how they was a star quarterback. There's guys at the gas station right now, somewhere in Detroit, Chicago, LA, posted up at the corner store, the gas station, talking about how they used to be the man. The woman they used to get, the cheerleader they used to date, the car they used to drive, their stats, highlight tapes, their old teacher who taught them science, the principal they looked up to, and they just holding on, man. You're 47. Let it go. Let it go, man. And a lot of brothers do that with the old man. You're holding on. You're still talking about the old man. You're boasting about how much weed you used to smoke, how much women you used to get. Man, when I was in the world, man, I was getting it in, man. Hey, brother. Hey, let that go, man. You're still holding on to this thing. Let me get this precept, right? Let's get this in 2 Corinthians 4. Sitting there talking about, oh, man, when I was in college, man, I had 15 credits, and I had all of the women that was in my dorm, and, you had to be there. Brother, I don't want to be there, man. Salaki, let me get this precept. Wanted to go back to that. Brother, nobody wants to be there with you in the world, man. We're looking to get out of here. We're looking for this place to go down. Let's get this in 2 Corinthians, the 4th chapter. Salaki, these pages stuck together. Damn. Give me 1 second. All right, so this 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 16. For which cause we faint not, but though our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day. So you should be renewed in the spirit day by day. Every day you should be getting closer to being in the image of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Every day is a day to read more. Every day is a day to study more. Every day is a day to cast off different components of the old man and wicked thoughts. Every day is a day to get your mind right, man. Yeah, your flesh isn't going to get right. Your flesh is going to wax old like a garment. Your body's going to break down. You get older, your knees hurt. Your back kind of break down, and, your body isn't going to rejuvenate itself, man, but your spirit will. Your spirit has the ability, due to the grace and mercy of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, to be literally regenerated every day. Every day. So what are you doing talking about the old man and who you used to be? You should be renewed day by day. Your whole mind, how you talk, should be examined and renewed day by day. How you think should be renewed day by day. How you deal with your brother, how you deal with your wife. These things should be renewed day by day. You can't bring stuff from yesterday in the world into today, man. And I'm speaking of sins, iniquities, and stumbling blocks. Let me read this again. 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and 16. For which cause we faint not, but though our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory, right? Because you may think you catching hell now. Hey, well, it's going to be worth it when you're in that kingdom, huh? Lord willing. When you're beamed up in that chariot. When you're sitting on the throne. We don't have to deal with sodomites and concrete and asphalt and pain. And this mortal body subject to demons, man. It's going to be well worth it. While we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. So we're not looking at this world to make it, man. When we see houses, and I'm speaking literally, we don't envision those houses with our names in it, being built up, and how can we build up that house? When we see this place, we envision this place destroyed, man. Like I always say, when I see skyscrapers and buildings, I don't want to go in there and figure out what the top floor look like. I'm not a damn tourist here, man. I'm a captive. When I see these houses, I want to see them on fire. I envision what it would be like. We was talking about it at camp, man. What the glass would be like when it explodes, man. How the people would be screaming on fire. What the ass, I want to smell the buildings on fire. I want to smell flesh of my enemies on fire. So when we see this world, we don't envision how it would be like to be in the world and excel. We're looking at this place to go down, man. These things are temporal. Can the brother pull up the definition of temporal? Baba Kashaw, right? I'm kind of exceeding my time, you know, but I want to get maybe two more precepts. I want to go back to Luke 17, but can the brother pull up the definition of temporal? Right? Because that's what this says right here. But at the things which are not seen, for the things which are seen are temporal. But the things which are not seen are eternal. So we're not really from here, man. You're looking at everything like you belong here. All of this stuff is an illusion. Money, joy, clothes, the cars, the women. All this stuff is fake. It's phony, how they say, man. This is not it. Your clothes and your garment and your clothes, that's not the best garment and clothes, man. You know, your car, you'll be in a chariot, man. Your car is temporal. The chariot is eternal. Let me see this. Okay, the Water King. Up on the score beats. Here's the definition. Lasting for only a limited period of time, not permanent. That's plain. This place is not permanent. This place is really set up with a ticking time bomb. That's all you dwell in a ticking time bomb. And it's counting down every day closer to destruction. You should be looking at the things eternal. Let's go to Luke 17, right? Let's go back to Luke 17, and we're going to wind down. Luke 17:30. Even thus shall it be in the day when the Son of Man is revealed. And that day, he which is upon the housetop and his stuff in the house, let him not come down and take it away. And he that is in the field, let him likewise not return back. Remember Lot's wife. Lot's wife looked back. You know, Lot was a rich man. Lot wasn't a nobody. Lot was a somebody back then, man. Remember, when you read Genesis, the 13th chapter, Abram at that time, and, or you know him as Abraham and Lot had so much wealth, so many slaves, so much cattle and gold that they had to separate from each other. They couldn't even live amongst each other. So when Lot went into Sodom, he brought all that wealth with him. So Lot was a big deal back then, man. And his woman was attracted to those goodies, man. His woman lived good, man. She didn't have to work. She had slaves, dominion, you know. She had food, water. She was comfortable. She was comfortable with what her husband had, man. So when it was time to let go, she was too comfortable in the world. She looked back at all of the things that the Most High was going to destroy. So her mind wasn't in it. She didn't want Sodom and Gomorrah to go down. You know? She didn't want that place to go down. And a lot of brothers are like that. You really don't want this place to go down. Here it is, the Most High's destroying the earth, man. And you're just looking back. You're still talking about who you used to be in the world, man. You're not talking about the kingdom. You rarely talk about how you want to increase and where you want to be. You're always talking about who you used to be. You know? And you're gloating and boasting in the spiritual demon Satan, man. When you walked according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience. Let me get this precept in Genesis chapter 13. Right? Let's go to Genesis chapter 13. Salakia. Just want to prove that point. Okay, Genesis. All right, chapter 13. Then I may go to 19. Okay, this is Genesis chapter 13 and verse 5. And Lot also, which went with Abram, had flocks and herds and tents. And the land, so Lot had money, man. You know, he had flocks, he had herds, he had tents. So modern day now, he had cars, he had acres of land, he had property, man. He had houses, he had real estate, if you can understand. So Lot had a big deal going on. And the land was not able to bear them, that they might dwell together. For their substance was great, so that they could not dwell together. And there was a strife between the herdmen of Abram's cattle and the herdmen of Lot's cattle, and the Canaanite and the Perizzite dwelled then in the land. You see that? And Abram, so they had so much going on, they couldn't dwell together, man. Like you might have a company, you know, they got to open up another a franchise somewhere. You might have a company in DC, but they grow so big, man. They say, look, you're going to have to start your own, man. And, you know, you start your own company somewhere in Philadelphia. And then when that company get big, you kind of branch off. So they couldn't really dwell together, man. The slaves started fighting. And Abram said unto Lot, let there be no strife, I pray thee, between me and thee, and between my herdmen and thy herdmen, for we be brethren. Is not the whole land before thee? Separate thyself, I pray thee, from me. If thou would take the left hand, then I will go to the right. Or if thou would depart to the right hand, then I will go to the left. So Abram gave Lot the choice because Abram knew that the Most High was going to bless him anyway. Now here's the point, right? And Lot lifted up his eyes and beheld all the plain of Jordan, that it was well watered everywhere before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, even as the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt, as thou comest to Zoar. Then Lot chose from all the plain of Jordan, and Lot journeyed east, and they separated themselves one from the other. Abram dwelt in the land of Canaan, and here's what Lot did. Check out what Lot did. And Lot dwelled in the cities of the plain and pitched his tent toward Sodom. What does that mean, he pitched his tent? He was flirting with disaster. That's like moving in next to a strip club. Yeah, I'm gonna just move in. Yeah, I know the strip club is on the right and the bar is on the left, but I'll be all right. I could hold it down. How do you think Lot ended up in Sodom and Gomorrah? Because originally, he didn't live there. He lived on the outskirts. He was a neighbor. He pitched his tent toward Sodom. How did he end up in Sodom? You see that? He got enticed, man. Now, there's no in-depth breakdown, but we know the deal. We know the deal, man. You can only flirt with temptation so long. The Lord said, there is no temptation taking you, but such, Slakia, that's not the precept I want, but in James chapter 1 and 12, it says, but every man is tempted when he is drawn after his own lust and enticed. So he got enticed and he ended up in Sodom, but he brought all that money with him. And his woman was with it, man. Maybe his woman kind of let him in there. Right? We don't really know, but they ended up in Sodom, and, his woman kind of made it big, man. She had a big deal going on with her husband. Let's go to Genesis chapter 19. Right? Let's go to Genesis 19. Then we're going to wind down. Okay, this is Genesis chapter 19 and verse 26. I'm going to start at 25. And he overthrew those cities and all the plain and all the inhabitants of the cities and that which grew upon the ground. But his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. And guess what? That pillar of salt is still there to this day. It's still there to this very day. You can go out there now, the Dead Sea, and see that pillar of salt, man. Let me get this in Wisdom of Solomon. Right? Salakia. It's Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 10. Quick precept. And Salakia, bear with me. Page is stuck. Okay, con. All right, Salakia, this is Genesis chapter 10 and verse, let's see. Bear with me. Genesis 10. Okay, con, in verse 6. When the Wisdom of Solomon, the 10th chapter, is giving you different accounts throughout Genesis, right? In Exodus, in the course of history. But it's written vaguely, and you just have to read those accounts, and you'll be able to understand what it's talking about. Because it doesn't really mention people by name, it just gives accounts, right? And the only way you would know the breakdown is if you read those accounts in the Torah, right? First 5 books. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 10 and verse 6. When the ungodly perished, meaning the Sodomites, she delivered the righteous man, meaning wisdom delivered Lot, who fled from the fire which fell down upon the 5 cities, of whose wickedness, even to this day, the wasteland that smoketh is a testimony, and plants bearing fruit that never come to ripeness, and a standing pillar of salt is a monument of an unbelieving soul. So that's a monument is something that's set up to be remembered, something that you look at, and it should draw your mind back into the ancient times or to the past, man. People have monuments of Edomites, monuments that commemorate victory, monuments that commemorate tragic events, murder, So they have this monument, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. He has a monument. His monument for you to remember is a woman who looked back in the world. She is set up for unbelieving souls, man. So if you don't believe in this thing, and if your faith is wandering and you're looking back in the world, you better go read Genesis 19 and see what the Most High is going to do, man. Pray for more faith, man, because she didn't believe. A lot of brothers is looking back, you really don't believe, man. You don't want these things that the Most High has in store because you don't believe that these things are really going to come, man. So with that, I'm going to close up, giving, of course, all honor and glory to Yahweh. Do not look back, press toward the mark, leave the world behind, and keep the commandments of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua through faith. Kwam Yashalom.